The city of Neo Haven was full of light, sound, and wonder. Tall silver buildings touched the sky. Hover cars flew between towers. Robots cleaned the streets. People walked with wrist devices that spoke to them like friends. This was the future. This was Earth in the year 2149. Inside one of the busiest cafes, called SkySip, people sat and talked about the latest news. Screens on the wall showed news reports, sports, and space discoveries. A small group of people stood near the center of the room, looking at a man in a gray suit with bright silver buttons. That man was Mr. Halden, the CEO of Glovax Corporation, the biggest tech company in the world. He had created many things, AI tools, translator chips, learning bots. People called him a genius. He was rich, proud, and full of confidence. He was visiting SkySip as part of a fun event. Every year, Glovax held a public Q&A in a random place. This year, they chose the cafe, surprising everyone. People crowded around him, asking questions. Some brought small devices and asked for tips. Others just wanted a selfie. The cafe was filled with energy. Among the crowd was a young waitress named Mira. She wore a simple white uniform, carried a tray, and quietly moved from table to table. Her hair was tied back, and she kept her eyes low. Nobody paid her much. Attention. Mr. Halden stood on a small platform near the cafe's center. He raised his hand and smiled. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said loudly, "let's play a game." People clapped. Cameras rolled. Even the news station outside started filming. Halden held up his sleek data tablet. The screen showed a line of strange symbols, curved lines, glowing dots, and tall shapes. It looked like art, but it wasn't. "This," he said, "is written in Solari, an ancient alien language. Our best scientists studied it for years. We barely understand half of it." He turned the tablet toward the crowd. "So here's my challenge. If anyone here can translate this message, I will give them my weekly salary." "Yes, you heard me right," the crowd laughed. Some gasped. A few tried to read it but quickly gave up. "It's impossible," a man in a suit whispered. "No way," said a student. "Only university AI can read Solari." Halden smiled proudly. He was sure no one would do it. Then from behind the counter, a quiet voice spoke. "I can try." Everyone turned. It was Mira, the young waitress. Halden looked surprised. "You?" She nodded. "Yes, may I see it?" Halden raised an eyebrow, then chuckled. "Sure, why not? Be my guest." Mira walked forward, wiping her hands on her apron. She looked at the screen for a few seconds. Her eyes scanned the symbols. She didn't blink much. Her lips moved slightly as if she was reading in her head. People around her whispered, "She's just a waitress. She's going to embarrass herself. What is she even trying to do?" But Mira didn't care. After about 12 seconds, she looked up. "It says, 'May your words carry truth. May your steps bring peace. I offer friendship to your kind.'" The room fell silent. Halden blinked. "What? What did you say?" She repeated the translation. Then added, "It's not just a message. It's part of a Solari greeting. It's formal, meant to build trust. It would be used when two peaceful sides meet for the first time." Everyone stared. A man in the back, wearing a white coat, stepped forward. He was Dr. Miko, a language expert from the Glovax team. He pulled out his own device and scanned the symbols. After a few seconds, he looked shocked. "She's right," he said. "It's perfect. Even the meaning behind the words, she explained it better than our translator bot." Halden stood speechless. He looked at Mira as if seeing her for the first time. "You really read that?" He asked. "Yes," she said. "Simply, Solari language is structured like music. Once you learn the rhythm, it becomes clear." People started clapping, then cheering. Phones came out. Mira's picture was taken by dozens. The crowd surrounded her, asking how she did. Halden finally laughed. "Well, I promised my salary, didn't I?" And a promise is a promise. He pulled out his device and sent a payment. The screen blinked. Payment sent. 580,000 credits. Mira's eyes widened. "Thank you," she said, "but not for the money." She was thankful for the chance. Reporters rushed in. Cameras flashed. The headline spread within minutes. Waitress shocks CEO. Translates alien message in seconds. In one moment, Mira had gone from unknown to famous. People online called her the alien whisperer and the genius in the cafe. But Mira didn't smile much. She quietly walked back behind the counter, picked up her tray, and returned to work. Only one person noticed her eyes. A woman near the corner, wearing a deep blue coat, watched Mira closely. She didn't speak, but her wrist device blinked with alien symbols. She smiled softly and whispered, "She is the one we've been looking for." And far above the earth, hidden among stars, something began to move. The news of Mira's translation spread faster than light. In just a few hours, her name was on every screen across Neo Haven. People posted her picture online, calling her the girl who spoke alien. Reporters gathered outside Sky Sip Cafe, hoping to interview her, but Mira didn't care about attention. She finished her shift quietly, as if nothing had happened. She smiled politely, cleaned the tables, and helped her coworkers. Fame didn't change her, but something inside her had awakened. A door that had been closed for years was now opening again. Meanwhile, at the Glovax Corporation headquarters, a meeting was called. Mr. Halden sat at the head of the table, staring at a large screen showing Mira's translation. Around him were top scientists, translators, and engineers. They were all experts in alien communication. Yet none of them had translated the Solari message before Mira. How did we miss this? Halden asked. Dr. Miko replied, "We didn't understand the cultural meaning." She saw the message as more than just text. She felt it like music. Another scientist added, "Her brain may work differently. Not just memory, something deeper. She sees patterns." Halden leaned back and said, "Find her. Invite her to Glovax. I want to know who she really is." The next morning, Mira received a message on her old wrist device. It blinked with a Glovax logo. The message read, "You are invited to Glovax headquarters for an interview. Transportation will be provided. Time 2 p.m. Mira looked at the message and smiled. She already knew this day would come. At exactly 2 p.m., a sleek silver transport pod arrived outside her small apartment. The door opened without sound. She stepped inside and sat quietly. The ride to Glovax HQ took only 10 minutes, but the world outside looked like something from a dream. Tall towers, shining bridges, and green skywalks filled with flowers. It was a city of the future. Inside Glovax, everything was quiet and clean. A robot guide led Mira to the top floor. The doors opened into a large room with walls made of glass. Mr. Halden stood waiting. "Welcome, Mira," he said. "Please sit." She sat down calmly. Halden noticed her eyes sharp, clear, focused. "You shocked the world yesterday." He began. "You translated something that even our best machines could not." Mira didn't respond. Halden continued, "I want to know how you did it." "I learned it," she said simply. "But where?" He asked. Mira looked down for a moment, then said, "Long ago, I found something. Books, tools, crystals, not from this world." Halden blinked. "Alien material?" "Yes," she replied. "Where?" "Is it now?" "At home, safe." Halden leaned forward. "We can help you study it. You could work here. We'll give you the best lab, assistance, resources." Mira shook her head. "I'm not ready. I need to learn more first." The CEO looked surprised. "You're turning down Glovax?" "I'm not saying no forever," she said. "Just not yet." Halden nodded slowly. He had met many geniuses, but Mira was different. She wasn't hungry for fame or power. She had a purpose, Then let me show you something, he said. He pressed a button, and a large screen lit up. A new message appeared, this time written in another alien language, Zenthari, a language that used sounds and symbols together. We received this from a ship passing Jupiter, Halden said. No one has cracked it. Mira stood up and walked closer to the screen. Her eyes scanned the strange shapes. She listened to the sounds. Then she spoke. It's not just a message, it's a warning, she said. They saw something big, moving in space. They fear it. Halden stared at her. You read that just now? Yes, Mira said. The Zenthari speak through emotion. The shape of the symbol shows fear. The sound behind it means danger from the stars. Halden turned to Dr. Miko, who had entered quietly. She's right, the scientist whispered. Exactly right. Halden stood still. Mira wasn't just translating, she was understanding things that no Earth-born system could. Something was happening, and she was the key to it. That evening, Mira returned home. She lived in a small room above an old bookshop. She locked her door, pulled out a metal box from under her bed, and opened it. Inside was a crystal that glowed softly. Next to it were thin metal sheets with alien writing. She had studied them for years. And now, finally, others were starting to believe her. She touched the crystal, and it lit up with blue light. A voice, soft and slow, played from inside. It was the voice of Rovan, the alien who had once saved her. He had crashed near her village when she was a child. No one believed her story back then. But Rovan had given her the tools to learn and understand. Earth is not ready, Rovan's voice said. But you will prepare them. You will be the voice between worlds. Mira closed the box. She remembered Rovan's eyes, kind and wise. She made a promise that day, long ago. She would learn, grow, and one day protect her planet. That time was coming fast. Outside her window, the night sky looked peaceful. But above, beyond the stars, something dark had started to move. Something old. Something that knew Earth had become strong, but still unprepared. The sun rose over Neo Haven, but Mira was already awake. She sat at her small desk, her eyes focused on the glowing crystal beside her. The alien voice of Rovan echoed in her memory. You will be the voice between worlds. Down in the street, more people gathered outside her building. Reporters, curious scientists, and even students wanted to see the young woman who had translated alien languages in seconds. She didn't open her door. She wasn't ready for attention. Her mind was focused on something deeper. Inside Glovax Corporation, the main lab was full of noise. Scientists moved quickly, machines beeped, and screens flashed with alien code. At the center of it all stood Dr. Lin, a calm and serious woman with short gray hair and sharp eyes. She was head of xenolinguistics, the study of alien language. Dr. Lin had spent her life trying to understand alien signals, but Mira's translation had changed everything. Now the world wanted answers. How could a young waitress know more than their smartest machines? She turned to her assistant. Is she coming? Yes, doctor, the assistant said. She accepted our second invitation. She'll be here in 20 minutes. Dr. Lin nodded. Good, let's find out what she really knows. Mira arrived in another silent silver pod. This time, she was not alone. 3 guards escorted her, not for safety from her, but for protection. From the crowd outside, the doors opened, and Mira stepped into the Glovax Research Center. The walls were lined with glowing panels, and alien symbols floated across the screens. The place smelled clean and cold, like metal and glass. Dr. Lin greeted her with a warm smile. Welcome, Mira. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Mira nodded politely. Thank you. I'm Dr. Lin. I study alien languages and their structure. I'd like to ask you a few questions and maybe test your skills if that's all right. That's fine, Mira said. Dr. Lin led her to a quiet room with a round table. A large screen showed a mix of alien scripts, some from Zolari, others from different species like Gravik, Elone, and Zenthari. She tapped the screen. Let's start with this Gravik sentence. Most of us think it means we offer no danger, but the tone is uncertain. Mira looked at it and replied quickly, that's not what it says. Gravik language has emotion in the lines. This one says, we are not dangerous unless you are. It's a warning, not a welcome. Dr. Lin blinked. That's correct. Next, she showed an Elone passage. Elone was a musical language with symbols that changed meaning based on pitch. Mira smiled slightly. This one is a poem. It says, stars may burn and skies may fade, but kindness never disappears. Dr. Lin checked the translation using 3 programs. All of them confirmed it. Mira was right again. Then Dr. Lin asked, how did you learn this? These are not languages found in school books. Mira paused for a moment. Then she told the truth. 10 years ago, a ship crashed near my village. An alien named Rovan survived. He was hurt, but kind. He taught me using crystals and books. When he died, I kept his tools and studied them. Dr. Lin listened carefully. Her voice grew quiet. No one believed your story back then, did they? No, Mira said. They thought I was making it up. But you didn't stop. I couldn't, Mira said. Rovan told me one day Earth would need someone who understood the truth behind words. Someone who could read between lines. He said I must be ready. Dr. Lin stood up. You are ready, Mira, and I think we need you more than ever. Meanwhile, Mr. Halden was watching everything from another room. He had a direct video feed of the interview. As he watched Mira's calm answers and clear voice, he finally understood something important. Mira was not just a translator, she was a bridge between species. He turned to his assistant. I want her working with our top team. Give her full access. But sir, the assistant said, she refused the first offer. Halden smiled. Then don't offer her a job. Offer her a mission. The next day, Mira returned to her apartment. On her desk was a small box with the Glovax logo. Inside was a device and a message. We are not asking you to work for us. We are asking you to help protect Earth. You're not just translating language, you're translating danger. Mr. Halden. Mira held the device in her hand. It glowed softly and showed a new alien message one never seen before. It was written in a complex script that mixed symbols from 4 different alien species. Whoever wrote it wanted to hide the meaning from basic translation tools, but Mira wasn't a tool. She stared at it. Her heart beat faster. This message was urgent. Slowly, she began to read. They are coming. They have watched you. You must unite, speak as one or fall as many. Mira stood up. She grabbed her notebook and the glowing crystal. She no longer had time to hide. The world was changing, and she had to be the first to understand what was coming. Night fell over Neo Haven, but Mira's apartment glowed with a soft blue light. The alien crystal on her desk pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. She sat alone, her notebook open, pages filled with strange shapes and lines. The message she had read from the Glovax device kept repeating in her mind. They are coming. They have watched you. You must unite. Speak as one or fall as many. She knew what it meant. The message was a warning from someone out there who didn't want Earth to be destroyed. The words were hidden, written using symbols from 4 alien species, each one with a different history, voice, and style. Whoever sent it had deep knowledge and wanted to be sure only someone truly trained in alien language could read it, and Mira had done it. But she also knew that time was running out. The next morning, she visited an old storage room under the bookstore, where she lived. Few people knew it existed. The air smelled like dust and paper, but the walls were lined with strange tools, alien books, small machines, glowing stones, and one broken device that looked like a compass from another world. It was here she had studied for 10 years. Ever since the night Rovin's ship had fallen from the sky. She remembered it clearly. She had been just a child, walking through the forest near her village when she saw the sky burn with fire. A ship, strange and beautiful, crashed into a clearing. Mira ran toward it without fear. Inside, she found Rovin, an alien with silver skin and calm blue eyes. He was injured and couldn't speak Earth language, but he showed her symbols. He drew with light. And slowly, he taught her. He died 3 weeks later, his body turning into light. But before he left, he gave her a crystal and said, "These are not just words, they are keys. One day, you will open a door no one else can." Now the door was in front of her at Glovac's headquarters. Panic had started. The message Mira had translated was sent to the World Alliance Council, a group of leaders from every major country. Scientists confirmed the symbols were real. Satellites began scanning deep space, searching for signs of movement. And they found it. 3 large objects were spotted near the edge of the solar system, moving slowly but directly toward Earth. They were not asteroids, and they were not friendly. The name of the species came through hidden signals. VARNOK. Dr. Lin, standing in front of a giant screen, looked at the data with worry. She turned to Mr. Halden. "We have 30 days, she said. 30? He repeated, "Yes, 30 Earth days before they arrive." Mr. Halden looked at the screen showing the size of the ships. They were huge, like moving cities in space. "We don't have the weapons for this," he said. "Not even our best defense systems can stop something that size." Dr. Lin said quietly, "Then we don't fight with weapons. We fight with words." Myra arrived at Glovac's an hour later. The entire building was on alert. Guards, scientists, and generals filled the hallways. But when she walked in, everything became quiet. People moved aside. They had seen what she could do. They knew. She was different. Dr. Lin greeted her. "We have a situation," she said. "I know," Mira replied. "I read the message." Dr. Lin nodded and took her to the control center. The large screen showed the Varnock ships, black, sharp, and alive with red energy. "We believe the Varnock have destroyed other planets," Dr. Lin said. "Their language is one we've never been able to crack. But they are intelligent. They use code, signals, and traps inside their messages." Mira stepped closer to the screen. "I've studied some of their symbols in Rovin's books. They don't just speak in words. They hide commands inside shapes. If we answer wrong, they may see us as prey." Halden spoke up. "Can we talk to them first, before they attack?" Mira looked calm. "Yes, but we must speak clearly. One mistake, and they will not listen again." Dr. Lin handed her a tablet. "We have a recording. A Varnock probe sent it near Jupiter. No one could read it. Maybe you can." Mira studied the symbols. Her eyes moved quickly. Then she said, "It's a challenge." "A test? What kind of test?" Halden asked. "They want to know if we are simple, if we are weak-minded. This is how they judge new species. And if we fail, they erase us." Mira took a deep breath. "I will need a team," she said. "Engineers, translators, scientists, anyone open-minded. We must build something together. A code that speaks not in fear, but in wisdom." Halden agreed. "Take what you need." Mira smiled for the first time in days. "Thank you." For the next several days, Mira worked non-stop. She built a language pattern that was part Solari, part Zenthari, with echoes of Gravic logic and Elone emotion. She called it Unity Speech, a language made from many, to answer the Varnock in a way no single species ever had. She trained her team, helped machines learn the rhythm, and tested each symbol with care. Even Mr. Halden joined in, learning how to use alien patterns to create peaceful meaning. In 1 week, Earth had a new voice crafted by Mira, guided by purpose. At the end of the week, they sent the message, a short, simple reply: "We understand. We are not alone. We speak many voices but one meaning. We choose peace, but we are not afraid. The Varnock ships paused. For the first time in history, they did not attack right away. They waited, and Mira knew. They were listening. The Varnock ships floated at the edge of the solar system like shadows, huge, black, and silent. They did not send weapons. They did not speak. They only waited. On Earth, people held their breath. In the skies above Neo Haven, warning lights flashed. Governments joined forces. Space stations turned their scanners toward the approaching threat. Every news channel showed the same image: 3 Varnock ships slowly moving closer. But deep inside Glovac's headquarters, Mira stood calm. Her message had reached them, and the Varnock had stopped. That meant one thing: they were thinking. Mr. Halden walked into the control room where Mira stood with her team. It's been 12 hours, no reply. Do you think they're planning to attack? Mira shook her head. No, if they were, they would have done it already. They are curious now. Dr. Lin stepped forward. We think they're scanning Earth. Studying us, judging. Myra nodded. Yes, that's what they do. Rovan told me once the Varnock respect strength, not weapons. They respect knowledge. Halden looked worried. What if they find us weak? Then we won't be given another chance, Mira said. Across the planet, a message was sent to every major research center, university, and space agency. Earth needs minds, not missiles. Mira had requested the help of thinkers, not fighters. She wanted to build something bigger than a weapon, a defense made of knowledge and communication. Soon, the best scientists and coders came together. They joined Mira's team and worked day and night. They created models of Varnock speech, practiced Unity speech, and trained AI to understand alien logic. One young engineer, named Lien, asked Mira, why not just build a strong weapon to stop them? Mira answered gently, because violence is the first language. If we answer with it, they will see us as no better than beasts. But if we answer with wisdom, they might see us as equals. Leon nodded. He had never thought of war that way before. By the third day, the Varnock sent a reply. A small black cube dropped from space and landed near Neo Haven. It did not explode. It did not open. It just sat in silence, humming quietly. Military forces surrounded it at once. Drones scanned it. Scientists measured its energy. The cube gave off a strong magnetic pulse and a soft vibration like a heartbeat. Mira arrived with her translator team. She placed her hand gently on the cube. Her crystal glowed in response. Symbols appeared on the cube's surface. It's a test, Mira whispered. A test? Dr. Lin asked. Yes, Mira said. A language test. They want to see how well we truly understand them. Not just their words, but their meaning. Mr. Halden frowned. If we fail, they will see us as unworthy. Mira asked for silence. She closed her eyes and began reading the cube's message. Her fingers moved slowly across its surface, tracing each glowing symbol. It's a story, she said at last. A memory. From the Varnock past, they were once peaceful. Then another species betrayed them. Since then, they test every new race. They look for truth before trust. Halden spoke. Then we must answer with truth. Myra nodded. Yes, and we must do it together. The next 12 hours were the most important in Earth's history. Mira led the creation of the response. Message, it had to be honest. It had to show pain, strength, fear, and hope. Earth was not perfect, but it had learned. The message included history of human mistakes, stories of peace and unity, the work done by people around the world to grow and change, a promise not of surrender, but of shared purpose. Finally, they were ready. Mira touched the cube again. The glowing symbols returned. Slowly she pressed a series of patterns into the surface, like playing keys on a musical instrument. The cube accepted the message. Then it stopped glowing. Everyone waited. For 5 long minutes nothing happened. Then the cube floated into the air. It split into 5 glowing pieces and vanished into the sky. "They've received it," Mira said. "Now we wait." That night, the stars above Earth changed. For the first time in centuries, the Varnak ship stopped moving, and a signal came back that it was a sound, not words. A deep, echoing sound that spread through every satellite and speaker on Earth. It wasn't loud, but it shook the hearts of all who heard it. Mira listened closely. Then she smiled. "It means they are considering peace." Mr. Halden asked, "Just considering? They never promise peace." "But they are no longer planning war." The world rejoiced. People cried. Bells rang in cities. In small villages, families hugged and looked up at the stars. For now, Earth was safe. Later that night, Mira returned to her quiet apartment. The crystal on her desk glowed brighter than ever. She placed her hand on it. Rovin's voice returned. "You did well. But remember, peace is not the end. It is the beginning." Mira nodded. She finally understood. This wasn't just about stopping a war. This was about building bridges between worlds, and she was the first brick in that bridge. Peace with the Varnak was not a victory, it was a pause. Earth had passed the first test, but more were coming. Mira knew this. So did Mr. Halden and Dr. Lin. The message from the Varnak was clear. "We see your light, but we also see your shadow." Inside Glovac's headquarters, Mira stood before a group of world leaders, scientists, and military commanders. She pointed to a star map on the large screen. 3 red marks blinked near the edge of the galaxy. "These are other planets. The Varnak once tested," Mira explained. 2 failed, 1 passed. But the one that passed was later attacked by another species. "The universe is watching us." A general stood up. "So what do we do next? Build more weapons?" Mira shook her head. "No, we build something better. A voice that cannot be ignored. We build a system that listens, understands, and speaks for all of Earth." Mr. Halden added, "A communication shield. Something that can answer any alien code in any language instantly." Dr. Lin stepped forward. "A universal translator, but smarter. One that can feel emotion, detect threats, and respond with peace or strength." Everyone looked at Mira. She nodded. "Yes, that's what I've been planning." And so, the project began. It was named Project Unity Core. Teams from every continent joined. Experts in language, sound, AI, and even musicians came together. Mira led them, working day and night. Her old alien notes were scanned and shared. Rovin's crystal became the heart of the system. The Unity Core would be the first defense not made of guns or ships but of knowledge. Lian, the young engineer, asked Mira one day, "How do we train it to feel emotion?" Mira replied, "By feeding it real stories. Not just facts, but feelings. Let it learn from our truth, not from our weapons." They gathered poems, songs, and messages of peace. They added war history, warnings, and survival codes. Every part of Earth's journey was included. In 2 weeks, the core began to speak. Its voice was soft, clear, and balanced. It could answer in Zalari, respond in Gravik, and even mimic Elone melodies. One night, Mira tested it with a sentence in ancient Varnak. The core replied perfectly, then added its own line. "We understand. Do you understand us?" Mira smiled. It was working, but not everyone believed in peace. A small group of commanders from an outer defense force met secretly. They feared the Varnak would still attack. They wanted to launch a pre-strike, a powerful missile that could damage one of the Varnak ships. "If we show strength, they will stay away forever," one officer said. They paused. "That doesn't mean they'll stay friendly," another added. Without telling Glovax or Mira, they prepared the missile. Back at Glovax, Mira received a strange signal through the Unity Core. It was short and sharp. A warning. She read it, and her eyes went wide. "Someone has sent an attack signal," she said. Dr. Lin turned to the screen. "From Earth?" Yes, Mira said. A pre-launch code is active. The Varnuk will see this as betrayal. Halden shouted, "Shut it down now." But it was too late. The missile had launched. Mira's heart pounded. If the Varnuk detect this, they might strike back. We'll lose everything we built. She rushed to the core and began typing in a message. It had to be fast, true, and strong. She wrote, "This action does not represent Earth. It is the mistake of a few. We still choose peace." She sent it. The core translated and broadcasted the message in every known alien frequency. Everyone. Waited. The missile flew through space and then exploded mid-air. The Varnuk ship had destroyed it before it could hit. Seconds passed. Then a signal came. This time, the message was in perfect unity speech. "We understand betrayal, but we also understand forgiveness. Speak again." Tears filled Mira's eyes. The core had worked. The Varnuk had listened. The next day, Mira met with the world leaders again. "Project Unity must not only speak," she said, "it must also guide us. It must become Earth's voice, not just during danger, but during peace." Halden stood beside her. "Let Mira lead it. Let the core become part of every country's system, not just Glovax." The leaders agreed. Unity Core was now Earth's first line of defense and its first line of communication. In the days that followed, Mira trained others to understand alien thinking. She built schools where children could learn Unity speech. Scientists shared messages with peaceful alien species. Small signals returned first from the Alone, then the Xanthari. Earth was not alone anymore, and Mira, once a quiet waitress, became known as the voice of Earth. One evening, as she stood alone under the stars, Rovin's crystal lit up again. His voice, warm and kind, spoke softly. "You've turned language into light, and light into hope. Your path is far from over." Mira whispered, "I'll keep going. I promise." 3 months passed. The Unity Core grew stronger. It was now connected to space stations, satellites, and all major world centers. It had spoken to 5 alien species, solved 3 potential misunderstandings, and even helped save a small ship from the planet Xanthari that had lost its way near Earth's moon. And at the center of it all was Mira, the girl who had once served tea and cleaned tables, now sitting in a quiet room in Glovax headquarters, guiding the future of Earth. Every day, she trained young minds, children who could speak 3 alien words before they even learned Earth's alphabets. She taught them not just how to speak, but how to understand. Mr. Halden once said, "We were building shields, but you built a bridge instead." Mira simply smiled. She didn't want praise. She just wanted Earth to never feel alone again. But peace is not always still. One morning, Unity Core received a strange signal. It was not Varnuk, not alone, not anything in the database. The signal was like music, but broken. Like a song remembered. Dr. Lin called Mira to the control room. "This signal has no clear source, but it repeats it every 6 hours, like a cry for help." Mira listened. Her fingers gently tapped the glowing panel. "It's not a message, it's a memory. Someone is trying to reach us, but they've lost the words." "Should we answer?" Halden asked. Mira nodded. "Yes, but not with code, with kindness." For the next 2 days, Mira and the Unity team built a message of comfort. It had no sharp sounds, no warnings, no demands. Just soft tones, colors, and emotions. They sent it. The reply came within minutes. A clearer signal now. A voice, tired, slow, but alive. "We are the Marine. We are the last." The message explained the Marine were a peaceful race once living near the edge of the galaxy. Their sun collapsed. Their home was gone. Only one small ship survived, drifting through space. Mira replied through the core, "You are not alone. Earth hears you." That day, Earth changed forever. It became a home, not just for humans, but for others too. the world united like never before. Space agencies worked together to find the marine ship. Within days, telescopes spotted it, old, broken, but still moving. A rescue ship, led by Myra herself, was prepared. The world watched as Mira's ship lifted into the sky. It was Earth's first official peace mission to another species. As they flew past the moon and through the darkness, Mira looked out the window and whispered, "We used to look at the stars with fear. Now we fly with hope." Inside the ship, Unity Core's mobile unit glowed gently. It kept speaking with the marine ship, guiding it, calming it. Soon, Mira saw it small, round, and covered in silver patches. The marine ship. Mira stepped inside. The air was cold. The lights were dim. In the center sat a being tall, with gentle eyes and glowing skin. Mira smiled and bowed. The being spoke softly. "You answered. No one ever did before." Mira replied, "We heard your voice, and we understand." Back on Earth, the marine were welcomed with warmth and wonder. People came to learn from them, not to control them. And the marine taught Earth many new things: how to sing star songs, how to grow crystals, how to listen to the silence between sounds. Unity Core became a universal hub. It helped Earth speak not just to aliens but also to itself. Wars slowed. Borders softened. People began to see the planet not as divided, but as one. And all because one girl had once understood a strange sentence on a napkin. Years later, Mira stood at a ceremony on Earth's new space peace station. Children from Earth, Varnuk, Marine, and Xanthari played together, laughing in a mix of languages. A statue stood nearby, not of a hero with weapons, but of Mira holding a crystal and a simple notebook. The plaque read, "She did not fight. She listened." Mr. Halden, now retired, stood beside her. His hair was white, but his eyes were bright. "You changed the world," he said. "No," Mira said, smiling. "The world chose to change. I only reminded it how." One evening, alone in her home, Mira touched Rovin's crystal one last time. It glowed brighter than ever before. And this time, not just Rovin's voice, but the voices of many echoed through it. "Thank you. Your light reached far." Mira looked at the stars, now full of meaning and music. She whispered, "There is still more to learn, more to share." And somewhere far away, in a quiet corner of the galaxy, someone new was listening.